American Morning, the most news in the morning, period. Weekdays 6 Eastern.
Joining us on the phone is an Iranian student who we can only identify for safety reasons by his first name, Mohammed. He has been a part of the protests. He's also been a target of the violence. Mohammed is with us. Can you tell us, because it's been difficult, Mohammed, getting information from the ground there in Tehran today, what is the scene like on the streets? Are there more demonstrators out there on the streets, or is it much quieter than it has been in recent days?
Hello. Actually, I participated on Saturday's demonstrations on central part of Tehran. What I saw thousands of security officers that try to break up the crowd. They used canisters, batons, and water cannons against us. They attacked us, and we also, in response, attacked them. We attacked them by sticks, by throwing the stones, and we built trenches in the streets, and actually we defended too.
Right. So there was quite a large confrontation going in there over the weekend. But can you tell us what the scene is like on the streets today?
Actually, yesterday, today is Monday in Tehran. Yesterday there wasn't any organized rallies in Tehran because we take orders from our leaders, Mr. Karoubi and Mr. Mirhossein Mousavi. The communication is very difficult, more than even you can imagine in Tehran. But I myself haven't received any orders from our leaders yet. But as soon as I get any order, I'm ready to participate in any demonstrations that they tell us.
And Mohammed, this is Kieran here as well with John. When you say receiving orders, tell us how the protests are organized, how you guys are sort of called to go and where.
Actually, I'm a regular person. I'm not behind the scene. I cannot tell you exactly how these demonstrations is organized. But as I know, as people said, there is a council, there is a group of Iranian reformists who organize these demonstrations, and they tell us in any way that they could, and we just follow.
Right. No, what I mean is, like, do you get it on your cell phone, text messages? Are you able to use the internet?
Actually, they reduced the speed, the internet speed very much. We have severe problems with the Messenger software and every software like Messenger. This arranged by making calls, calls to his friends or her friends, and try to gather as much people as he or she can.
You know, Mohammed, we have been talking this morning sort of about what the students are fighting for, and whether the students are fighting for something different than the older, more established political candidates like Mousavi are. Are the students seeking regime change? Are they looking to bring down the Ayatollah and completely change the form of government there in Iran? Or are you looking for, as has been suggested, more civil rights, more freedoms within the context of the existing regime?
Yes. Let me tell you something. For about 3 decades, our nation has been humiliated and insulted by this regime. Now Iranians are united again one more time after 1979 revolution. We are a peaceful nation. We don't hate anybody. We want to be an active member of international community. We don't want to be isolated. Is it much of a demand for a country with more than 2,500 civilization? We don't deny Holocaust. We do accept Israel's rights. And actually, we want severe reforms on this structure. This structure is not going to be tolerated by the majority of Iranians. We need severe reforms as much as it's possible.
Interesting perspective this morning from Mohammed, a student demonstrator there in Tehran.
Okay, finally,
yeah, go ahead.
Excuse me, sir. I have a message. I have a message to the international community. Would you please let me tell it?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes.
Okay. American, European Union, international community. This government is definitely not elected by the majority of Iranians. So it's illegal. Do not recognize it. Stop trading with them. Impose much more sanctions against them. My message to another message to international community, especially I'm addressing President Barack Obama directly. How a government that doesn't recognize its people's rights and repress them brutally and mercilessly can have nuclear activities. This government is a huge threat to global peace. Will a wise man give a sharp dagger to an insane person? We need your help, international community. Don't leave us alone.
All right.
Mohammed, what do you think that the international community should do besides sanctions?
Actually, this regime is really dependent on importing gasoline. More than 85% of Iran's gasoline is imported from the foreign countries. I think international community must sanction exporting gasoline to Iran, and that might shut down the government.